What's good, beautiful people? It's your girl, Ashley Janae, and it's finally time for another Toolkit Tuesday. I know you've been anticipating this video because I've given you 2 weeks to get your business plan started. In the first video, we talked about the introduction, your bio, your credentials, how to write your business description. We talked about how to create your SMART goals and action steps, and we covered products and services. Now it's time to dig a little bit deeper. Remember, we're writing in first person and primarily in essay form. So this video, we're going to be talking about researching your industry and how to properly analyze the market that you're going into. And this is very, very important because you don't want to spend your money or your time in an industry that, one, may be declining and you don't have a strategy for it, or two, that you might not be interested in once you have all of the information. So this makes sure, once we've gotten our ideas out of our brain, down on the paper, that this now makes sure that we understand fully the beast that we're about to tackle. So the first 2 things that you need to remember are the 2 C's. One is your customer. Who is my customer? Now, I know a lot of times we want to say, oh, my customer is anybody. I have a product for everyone. And while that can be noble, we want to make sure that you narrow down your customer to exactly who it is that you're trying to market to. So let's take the JT such and such model fitness trainer. Now, if JT such and such lives in this area and he has a home gym where he likes to do his training sessions, his client might only be within 15 to 25 miles from that gym. Or if he wants to travel, he might not want to travel more than 10 or 15 miles away. So you have to decide, where is my customer? Now, for other businesses, you might decide, I would like to cater to women, to men, to elderly people, to millennials. Whatever it is that you've decided that you're going to put your primary focus, that is your market. So that's what you want to focus on. So you need to narrow down your customer. That's number 1. And number 2, the next C is figuring out, what is my competition? Now, if JT such and such is a personal trainer, who would his competition be? Would it just be other personal trainers? Sure. But his other competition would also be, his direct competition would be gyms within the area. It could also be apartment complexes that have free fitness studios inside, because he has to figure out now, what is it that I'm going to offer to get someone to bypass their personal home gym and reach out to me. Okay? So you have to figure out, who is my customer and who is the competition. That's first. Next, I want you to do an industry analysis. That means you need to find out how much revenue is coming in my industry. What kind of products and services are there in my industry? How many businesses have been created or lost in my industry? Along with the total revenue, has that increased or declined in the past years? Where is the market projected to go with my industry? Is the employment rate up or down? Like, are people jumping into this industry or exiting this industry at a fast pace? Personally, and I've not done the research for it, cable television seems like one of those things that may be an industry that's in decline. Only because with the advent of social media and social media platforms, free platforms like YouTube, Vimeo, and things of the like, where people are putting out a mass amount of content and people are consuming that content much more today than they were even just 2 to 5 years ago. That's an industry that, from my perspective, may be on the decline, but you never know until you do your research. There's a really great resource called IBIS World, IBIS World. And of course, like always, I will link that in the description box below, and you can check it out. They have a limited amount of content that they give for free, but you really can get the basics, and it's a good starting place for your research. And you can even purchase the full version, and I think it will be well worth it for you depending on how serious you are about going into business or what stage you are in your business creation. All right? And the next thing that I want you to do to help you properly analyze your market is what's called a SWOT analysis. Now, I made a little drawing for you. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So if you can see this, you might want to take a little screenshot of it, but I'm going to explain it. So what you're going to do is make a grid. You have 4 squares. Now, right here, this says your internal factors, and this is going to be your external factors. Up here, this column is going to be the things that help your business, and this column will be the things that hurt your business. This is a powerful, powerful tool for you to use. So, just to give you some examples, this isn't any specific business, but I wrote some examples down that you can use. So, in the strengths category, and remember this will be internal strengths. So this has to do with your business, your product, your service that you will be offering. You will look at how does my business stand out? What is my UVP? UVP means your unique value proposition. What is it that I have to offer that no one else is offering? What service do I have to offer? What product, what idea, intellectual property? What is it that's specific about my company, my business, my product, my service that I have to offer that no one else in the market is offering? That's your UVP. That would be an internal strength, something that would help your business, a strength. Another one would be, what specific expertise or skills do you possess that can help your business grow? Using that JT such and such fitness trainer model, if he has taken nutrition courses, or if he's got a certification in fitness health, or a degree, an associate's, a master's, a bachelor's degree in physical science or nutrition, that will be something that will go, 1, in his intro under his credentials, and 2, in your SWOT analysis. These are specific expertise or skills that can help. Number 3, and these are not limited, these are just examples for you to start with. What assets do you have? Now remember, not just your tangible assets such as money or resources, but also intellectual property. Do you have a specific patent on your idea? Is there a specific trademark or logo or catchy slogan phrase? Whatever it is, what type of strengths do you have? Assets do you have that can go in your strengths category? Internal, okay? Internal strengths. Now we're going to go over here to external factors, which would be opportunities. So, an opportunity could be there's a small amount of competition for you based on the business. And remember, the first thing we talked about, those 2 C's, who is my customer and what is my competition? So, if JT such and such lives in an area where there's maybe only 1 or 2 gyms and only 1 listed trainer, even 3 listed personal trainers, he could have a minimum amount of competition. Now, competition is not always a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but sometimes when you're trying to squeeze into an industry, a limited amount of competition is a great opportunity for you, especially if your price point or your customer base is different from those around you. All right, what need will open in your marketplace, or what need is open in your marketplace? So if you see that you're dealing with a population who is surrounded completely by maybe fast food, unhealthy choices, and no gym, that's a need. Or a need that will open is if you see a development company opening up gyms or studios, or a new yoga studio is coming, or a fitness studio. That could be an opportunity for you where you can get on and say, hey, I'm a personal trainer and I have these degrees, this expertise, this skill set, and I'd be excellent in this area. You understand what I'm saying? And you could sign on as a private contractor. Opportunities. in your market, openings in your market. Okay? And lastly, over here for the examples that I'm giving, marketing opportunities. In the age that we live in with social media and so many free platforms or platforms that are priced at a great cost, those are marketing opportunities. What friends do I know? Do I know someone that has a nutrition store or someone that sells meal plans or healthy shakes, things like that? Could I partner with them and maybe say, hey, I offer fitness, you offer the nutrition, can we partner? That's an opportunity that you can capitalize on, okay? Then we go over here to weaknesses. Now remember, internal, up top, the top row is internal, the second row is external. So internal weaknesses. So an internal weakness would be, I still don't have my intellectual property protected. That is the primary weakness for most companies. You have a great idea, you have a great little business plan that you put together, or a big business plan that you put together, but you have not protected your idea. Internal weakness. Is there a skill set, a degree, a certification? Is there something that I need to attain, a skill that I need to acquire or perfect that would help my business operate, thrive, grow? What is it? What is that internal weakness? Okay? How does my competition outperform me? So based on whatever it is that you want to offer, if we use the JT such and such model, if his competition is offering personal one-on-one training 5 days a week and you're only doing 2 days a week, that might be something to consider. Is your time worth doing 5 days a week or even 4 days a week? Are you offering more value in your fewer sessions or less value? Because it's not about the quantity always. Sometimes it really just is about the quality. If you have a service that you're giving to a customer and they can get the same amount of quality in less time, that's actually a benefit for you. So you need to look at your competition and properly analyze, am I being outperformed by my competition? Remember, internal weakness, okay? Also, are there any limitations that you're experiencing? Now, don't overlook the small things. Sometimes it could just be money. It could be finances. But a lot of times, if you pay attention, your issue is not a matter of resources. It's a matter of how resourceful can you be. So properly analyze your limitations. And if you don't have it, understand that there's a way to get it. And all you have to do is figure it out. Okay? So resources, could it be tech? Could it be the type of business that I have needs an app and I don't have an app? Or the type of business that I have, I definitely have a need for a website to drive sales, and I cannot acquire the sales that I should be able to because I don't have a website. Internal weaknesses. And the last category would be threats. These are external factors that could pose a threat to your business, okay? So, external factors. Your competition is still on that list. Things that you just cannot fight or combat will be companies that are bigger than you, with more resources than you at the stage that you're in. But guess what? Those customers that they have will not necessarily be your marketplace. But that's still something you have to pay attention to, your competition. So you might not want to start in an overly saturated marketplace or an overly saturated area for your marketplace. Pay attention to that. These are potential threats. Or someone opens up, like for small mom and pop stores, big box stores, those are external factors that cannot be avoided in a lot of circumstances, okay? Laws that change. Now, this is very important. I was talking to somebody on the cruise I was just on, and they were talking about how their family wants to have a dispensary for medical marijuana. And that's fine, cool, and great. But imagine if you wanted to do this 5 or 10 years ago. You might not have been able to based on the law. Now, for here in my state, medical marijuana is not completely legal and it's not decriminalized. So if you want to have a medical marijuana shop or a dispensary, Ohio would not be the place to do it, right? These are external threats to the business that you want to have. Now, shifting industries, like I mentioned, for me, just my perspective, the cable industry, or as the research has shown, the laundromat industry, declining industries. That does not mean you don't go into these industries. That means you have to properly analyze any possible threats. Okay? Shifting industries. Think about something that Vine, perfect example. When Vine first came out, everyone thought Vine was going to just wipe out Instagram. It was the next big thing, and it had its 15 minutes. It was really awesome. And even on YouTube, you can still see Vine compilations. However, Vine was an industry that died. Unfortunate reality, but you have to do your research. In tech, if you're going into tech, that's a very tricky, very fast moving industry. So make sure you do your research. And I also put on here negative reviews. That is an external threat. You cannot control the type of reviews that people give you, but you can control the type of experience that they have from you. That's all you have control over, but that's a very important factor to consider. One of the Airbnbs that I just stayed in, unfortunately, I could not give them a 3 out of 5 stars because the place smelled really, really bad. As soon as I walked in, they had wires hanging out the wall. It was just an unpleasant experience. It was very noisy and things of the like. I didn't want to give them a negative review, but I gave them an honest review. You understand what I'm saying? No shade on the people or anything like that. They were nice, things like that. But I gave an honest review about my personal experience, and that you can't help. But what you can do is you can control the experience that someone else has when they're with you. Okay? So this is where we are. I don't want to give you 2 weeks for this because it's not going to take that long. We're going to do 1 week. So next Tuesday, we're hitting the ground running with part 3, and we're going into marketing in a big way, and it's so very important. After marketing, we're going to be doing pricing. So you want to stay tuned, okay? Week 2, business plan. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. If you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, leave it in the comments below. I always respond as soon as I can. So let me know what your questions or your concerns are. Give me any feedback that you have, and I'll be sure to respond. All right? I know this will help you get going. If you didn't get started with last week, go ahead and play catch up. The videos are there for you, okay? So thanks so much for watching, family. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you can know when the next video is coming. I'll see you. Peace.